Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Warren McCrickard. Warren McCrickard is the Executive Director of Boys to Men Mentoring Network of Virginia. In his 2 years at Boys to Men, he's helped the organization grow from 3 school districts to 7, while also growing their participants from around 200 to over 500 young men. His background is in for nonprofit sales and marketing, working in various industries including film, flooring, recreational, marine, retail, and adult living. In each, he rose quickly to leadership ranks. Warren loves the diversity of his work experience, as each position has been a stair step to the next and offered insight into marketing and sales strategies. He's been married for 16 years to his wonderful wife, Rachel. They have 2 Boston Terrier pups and 7 nieces and nephews. His non-work passions are gardening, indoor plants, records, and film. Well, good afternoon, Warren. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Absolutely. And thank you again, making the time. You're just about an hour ahead of us, I believe, that are out on the East Coast. So again, sometimes traversing time zones across the globe, which I do very often, sometimes is a challenge. So you making the time is just amazing. And thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. And I appreciate this opportunity just to share about myself and about the organization I work for. So thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. So Warren, let's jump right into your story here. You've got quite the career in sales and marketing. You were in film, and now you're the executive director of Boys to Men Mentoring Network of Virginia. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the idea of the career was bloom where I'm planted. So when I lived in Los Angeles, my passion from middle school was to be in the film industry. And so I really took a hold of that and put a lot of effort into that part of my career. And then as we moved, I just looked for opportunities that seemed that they would fit my lifestyle, would fit what I wanted. And I always feel like as a human, we never know what we don't know until we know it, right? And so if I'm working in film and then working in retail, what it allows me to do is take experiences from one industry and move them into another. And so that kind of framework, that model, that thought process, that everything that we kind of sometimes believe will be different actually is pretty similar. It's just maybe has a different shape or sound to it, is very exciting to me. So that's kind of why my career journey is what it is. You know, if there was something in front of me that looked interesting, I always thought, well, let's just pursue it and see where it goes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And being in the film industries can be pretty exciting. I had a little stint there in Hollywood myself, trying to get into the biz, years ago. But love your story. Love, you, no matter where you lived, you're looking for something that really fit kind of your passion, your lifestyle. So I appreciate the story. Warren, your story takes you from an accomplished corporate leader to devote your career to something much more meaningful, with purpose, obviously, right? Can you tell us why this was so important to you?
For me, what had happened was I'd gotten to a place where I started questioning if the work that I was doing had world value. Maybe it's a career midlife crisis. I don't know if others have gone through that in your listening audience, but I decided that, I tried a few entrepreneurial things, and that didn't really seem to fit me. I was always better at being within an organization. And so I started looking at ways to volunteer. And when we moved to Richmond, this opportunity to volunteer happened with Boys to Men. And as I spent time in the organization, I realized that they had an absence within their leadership for development, which is like fundraising. And so I asked if I could step into that role part-time, and we felt each other out a little bit to see if it made sense. And then I came into the executive director role. I've always been really good at building structure. And if it's a mom and pop or kind of family organization, how do you build a little bit of framework, still keep the heart, but have a little bit of organizational structure? So that was a good challenge here. And it fills me up. Brian, when you are sitting in a room with 12 to 17-year-old young men who are told by everybody else that they are annoying, that they're loud, that they're rude, that they misbehave, yet they open up about their deepest feelings and their deepest secrets and the things that are hardest for them, it's hard as a man not to challenge yourself and be challenged by their willingness to be real.
Thank you. And I love the work that you're doing. Our young men these days need so much help and guidance and someone to listen to. So I appreciate you sharing that with us today.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Warren, I get into this a lot, but we are a technology publication platform and podcast. And we like to ask people, if you're leveraging some of that new and emerging technologies in your organization. And if not, maybe there's a cool tool or app you found useful you might share with us today.
I tried for the first time ChatGPT. It's a small thing that hardly anyone's heard of, right, Brian? I tried it for a newsletter that I sent out, and that was very fascinating to me. I'm one who typically is afraid of technology. I like to see it out before I jump into it. That even included phones. I'm an old soul in the sense. So I would have grabbed two cans and put a wire between them for a while. So ChatGPT for me was a big reach, but something that I wanted to try. The other thing that we use is a system called Bloomerang. It's a CRM software designed specifically to nonprofits, and that has been a very helpful tool for us. I think that one of the things that lacks maybe in the mentoring space, or that I've yet to find, is a piece of technology or tool that would help engagement between both the mentor and the mentee. So when I was preparing for this podcast, I thought, what a great question that you had sent me to kind of think about, because it does show that technology still has advanced capabilities that could happen within the mentoring space.
Thank you. And I appreciate you being open to leveraging and trying some of this new technology, ChatGPT, for example. And I'm glad they've made that open to everybody to kind of jump into it. So thank you, Warren. Warren, last question of the day. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those listening today to grow their career in leadership or a nonprofit space?
Do not limit yourself. That's my advice. When I look at my career working in the film industry and retail sales and recreational marine floor covering, they don't necessarily look like they line up. And I say this a lot to our young men as they go into the workforce. Don't limit yourself. You don't know what you don't know. So if there's an opportunity in front of you, the worst that can happen is that you fail and it doesn't work out. So take the opportunity that's in front of you and learn from it, and let that be a building block to your next career stepping stone.
Awesome. Great advice. Absolutely. The world is your place to roam. The sky is the limit. So thank you for your thoughts on that. Warren, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you again, Brian.
Bye for now.